Chapter 1. I knew I would end up being someone's villain after contemplating suicide. How I lived and why made me feel that I would be the bad guy no matter what. I was living with my mother and fiancé. My life felt like hell. One day, after months of dealing with my mother's heightened criticism and abuse, I decided to kill myself. I felt my purpose was in raising my son, but she thought I did nothing of value. If my mother doesn't like me, then, well, what's it worth? I wrote up the suicide letter. Beforehand, I tried talking to my fiancé, the two women, if not the only two people I wanted to love, always unrequited. I constantly felt like trash. My choices were to either kill myself or leave. And since I'm writing this, you may wonder how I'm writing this while rotting in hell. I prayed to the big guy, the highest god of the universe and multiverse, mindful of how he felt about suicide. We had a long talk about how I felt about his son. When our conversation ended, I awoke in the middle of the road and was hit by a bus. I died instantly and didn't remember any real pain. I spent a while in purgatory, long enough anyone who would have missed me and had moved on or forgotten about me, and my feelings about being dead could finally settle. So many spirits stalk around the mortal realm, envious of the material and living. We were all classified as wanton waste of potential. With a label like that, it was no surprise many caused trouble or haunted the mortals. The processing for purgatory is arduous. It felt like a brand new lifetime of contemplation, reflection, and meditation. Purgatory is vacuous. The parts that aren't overly bureaucratic, like spending a lifetime in the DMV or an open void. Those who repent in purgatory time are reassigned and bypassed into heaven. But simultaneously, those who cause havoc, even in their time of reflection, get condemned to hell. The problem is getting those spirits to hell after they leave purgatory. The day I left purgatory, Jesus awaited me with St. Peter. He pulled me from the long line into heaven to offer me the opportunity in a suicide prevention unit. I'm a guardian angel for at-risk boys in the suicide prevention unit. I thought I would be in the call center answering prayers. Considering suicide's the third leading killer of men, I'm far too busy to have an office job. There were perks to spending more time on the pale blue dot. At least I wasn't in hell. But whenever I need it, I get immediately absorbed into the land of mortals. It's happening again. I don't even have a body, which still makes me hurl. A portal of purple energy opens up, sucking me inside. The portal spits me onto a vermilion orange bridge where I see a young man around 5'5" wearing a black hoodie. A dark cloud loomed over his head. I can see him in my inferior state, but he can't see me. I shook off trans-dimensional travel, while he, like most boys I find at the bridges, stared down at the height. My new friend was staring over the edge in awe of the distance he may fall. Most walked away if they cared about pain, but he shook his eyes, clenching the bridge, refusing to look any longer. Come on. I can't chicken out now. It's not quite chickening out if it's a bad idea. More of a reconsideration. It materialized directly next to him. Impossible to be a passerby or a stopped car. What? Who are you? He cried, falling over his feet. I'm Carter. God sent me because he thought you planned to hop over that bridge. I stared down, whistling at the distance. There is no God. Now I see why you're suicidal, I sigh. This is some joke to you, he says defensively. I'm not laughing, pal. Death is a grave matter. I gave you my name. What's yours? I turned my body square to his hunched-over frame as he looked at the San Francisco Bay below. Why does it matter? I'm gonna die soon anyway. You don't have to die. So, why do you have to die? I have nothing back home. I fought with my mom and kicked me out of the house because I overreacted. I have nowhere to go now, he cried. And you feel no one will love you if your mom doesn't love you. I asked with empathy in my tone. Well, the kids at school already bullied me. My dad moved out a couple years ago. My mom got me in the courts. All she does now is go on dates, party, and spend my dad's check. So I asked her about camps, sports, or college, that she curses me out saying I'm just like my dad. That sounds painful, my friend. One of my friends at school showed me my mom's OnlyFans account today, and when I asked her about it, I got kicked out. She said I could leave if I didn't like how she made her money. So I left. I feel your pain. I truly do. But I can't imagine how you feel. I feel like a piece of shit. I'm only a freshman and every guy at school has seen my mom naked doing all types of things on camera. They even try to sleep with her for money. I want to die, man. I can't ever go back to school or be at home. Well, do you want to die? Or do you want a different life? He wiped his tears away, pondering my question for a few seconds before opening his mouth, as though it had never been an option. I guess I want it all to be different, he sniffles. Where's Dad? He moved to Oakland in some gated community. It sounds weird you don't get to see him. I mean, you're only in San Francisco. My mom doesn't let him visit. She told the court she only wanted the money. She put a restraining order against him because he spanked me. I haven't seen him since he left. Would you rather live with your dad? His tears dried as he gave a short, decisive nod. His chest rose and fell with anticipation as he watched me mull over how I would pull this off. As a guardian angel, I only had enough money to buy the kid dinner. Or an ice cream cone if there were too many cases in one day. It's nice to enjoy real food again, even if it's only the taste. Hopefully Christ will understand my getting away from training to solve this case. Of course, the best things in life didn't require any money, and they only took an effort to achieve anything beneficial. I can take you to your dad, I convinced myself, despite never being the best at flying. What? Really? He cheered. Do you think it'll be different living with him? All my mom does anymore is hurt my feelings or argue with me over anything. She treats me like she treated my dad. I wanted to leave Carter. I have to leave. Let's go to Oakland. And that would be, help me out, buddy. Where is Oakland? That northwestish? Alright, I'm not a good flyer, and I'm from heaven, nowhere like California, so you'll have to give me directions. It's literally across the bridge. Wow, he's been that close all this time? I know, he sulked. I spread my wings, hovering above the ground. I held out a hand, hoping the kid would come. He takes another look over the bridge. He pries his hands off the railing, tiptoeing closer to me. Please don't drop me, Carter. What's your name, kid? Pablo. Pablo Rivera. He grabs my hand. A strong name for a powerful boy. I don't feel strong. You had to be strong for so long. Now you're exhausted. The weight of your cross has drained you. It doesn't take away from how long you've been carrying that yoke. It's good you finally dropped the cross, because it wasn't yours to carry. Whoa. It's the truth, I assured. We had flown over the bridge. I began looking down at the lit cities and dead zones. It felt like most of California were hills, woods, and forests with pockets of people gathered about or living independently. It didn't help I was nearsighted, struggling to tell the different areas apart. It looked like the same, divided by pride, perspective, and delusion. I couldn't tell Oakland was distinctly different from its surrounding area if you paid me from this far away. It didn't matter. All I wanted was for the boy to avoid my fate. If I could manage that, then I could be joyful. To know he would be good with his pops was enough for me. There! That's his apartment complex, Pablo screams. Great. Complex. How will you know which apartment with all these units? I felt my wings pulling from the air friction as I lowered from the high altitude. I tugged against the air like a second pair of arms in a moving car, as we began coasting for the ground in a free-fall state to save me from the strain. Are we crashing? Are we crashing? Pablo panicked while squeezing me tighter. Basically, I smirked, remembering my lessons from Guardian Angel trading. Okay, tuck in your wings and barrel roll. Now open your wings and decelerate, then collide. Okay, much smoother now. Whoa, you are a terrible flyer. Pablo jumped to the ground. He was puking, falling over his side and staring at the red concrete. He hugged the manicured grass beneath his face, washing away his puke with a half-drunken water bottle littered on the ground. He kissed the clean grass as tears swelled in his eyes. Hey, I'm not that bad of a flyer that you must cry and whatnot. No, I'm so happy to be alive. Thank you. Thank you so much, Carter. I didn't want to die. Pablo sobbed as I patted his back. Hey, relax, bud. It's not your fault for not wanting to live in your situation. You didn't ask for it, never wanted it, and walked away. Your mom selfishly created her living hell. You were her last slice of heaven. Now she's lost it and must navigate the world alone. I recited what Jesus had said after the bus hit me and walked with me through the void into limbo.